Hello all and welcome to FX Core. This is the second session and we're going to look at how to install MT4 platform multiple times, loading FXCOREGOLD EA, loading the set files into MT4 and the core basic settings. I'd advise you to demo test and play around with. Now, first thing of all, we're going to look at how we're going to log in to the server. So we're currently on my laptop itself. So we come down to the bottom and we click Start, Remote Desktop. You add in your IP address, you click Connect, and that will be prompted with a administrator. You add in your administrator and your password, and then you click on Connect. I'm connected automatically already. And we're now logged in to the VPS. So now let's start with installing multiple platforms. Now, I already have on my desktop a copy of the installation file for FTMO. So if you don't have that, you can, to make life super easy, what you can do is, let's say, for example, you download it on your personal desktop. And for example, it's here on the left-hand side. You can right click and copy or cut, come to your VPS, and you can paste that. I already have it here, so I don't need to do that. And that's the quickest and simplest way to get that onto the VPS. Now let's install the first copy of FTMO. I have a few copies already on this PC, so I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to name this Gold 1. Come in there, name that Core 1. You can add it in there as well. And that's basically it. Core, and I've just named it Gold 1. You come in, click on Next, and it's going to install. And we just wait for that to install. Finish, and it should open. Okay, there we go. So there's the first copy. We're just going to close that, close, and keep one open. Now we come back to the desktop. We run the application again, come into the settings, and we can do the same thing. Name that as 2. Click Next, let that install. I'm just closing these off now. Actually, I'll just bring in another window. And we know that that's 2. So we currently have, let's do one more. Just come in. Actually, let's just leave it like that. Cancel. Okay, so now that they're both installed, let's just close these platforms. Let's close them all. And we'll show you how to track them down. So you come into the Windows and you come into your apps. And then as we name them as goals, they're going to be under the G. So they're here. So you can see Gold 1 and Gold 2. So you can click on here and there's your installation folder, and you click on here and here's your other installation folder. So you can come in here, open up the first MT4 platform, and that opens up. So that was the first one. We've got one screen open. We come here again into the apps, and then we come into Gold 2, and there's the second MT4. And there you go. So now we have 2 MT4s open. Now it's not connecting to the data feed because I'm not connected. So there's, well, I can put them side by side just so you can see them both opened. So there's MT41 and MT42, and then you keep recreating multiple times as you so need. To make life easy, you could also come into the apps and you come into the gold itself, and you can right click pin to start, and the same here. You come in here, right click pin to start, and that's going to be in your settings here. And then you can name each one. So you can put one there and one someone over there or wherever it is. And you can name them MT41, or this can be your FTMO, and this can be my Forex funds. And then you know straight away what you're doing. And then you can add another one for a live account. And at least you're nicely organized in that aspect. So that's installing multiple MT4s. Again, you can recreate as many MT4 terminals as you need, as long as you bear in mind the CPU and details of your VPS. Now, I'm going to close these. Let's look at loading FXCOREGOLD EA onto your MT4. So I'm just going to open up a demo account on FTMO. So this is a demo account, and I'm just going to get rid of, I'm just going to create a new chart. And I've already pre-saved all my settings into a folder, so I just have to come in here. Okay, so first of all, we need to install the EA itself. So we're just going to come in here and go File, Open Data folder. I'm going to go into my MQL4 experts, and I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm just going to name it new EA. And then I'm going to copy the FXCOREGOLD EX4 file in there. I'm also going to move over the FF calculator onto there also, or calendar on there also. We can close that and come back in to MT4. I'm just going to refresh the left-hand side, and there's our new folder. And here is FXCOREGOLD EA. Okay, so now that we have FXCOREGOLD version 5 on to the chart, let's load the preset files that are actually being distributed. So first of all, we're going to come into the common tab, and we're going to allow live trading, and we're going to allow DLL, and just make sure that's all clicked. I'm just going to click OK, make sure that's off. I don't want that to be on. And to load the preset file, you come into load, and you come into your desktop, and here are the preset files. You can find these preset files under my profile name in the Discord channel. So these are the exact same set files within my Discord profile channel. So you can come and say, okay, this is a 50K account. Let's just put the 10K, 20K in there, and it automatically loads those settings. Now we're going to go over some of the basic settings. So version 5, we have the information that you can tuck away nice and neatly. We also have the close all in profit, or close all at losses, handy feature. Now we're just going to go over some of these settings. So we have start manual order grid by A and B. I would ideally keep these as they are. Close orders now, you don't really need this now because this feature at the bottom does the job. So this is no longer relevant. Again, magic numbers, we can add as many numbers as you wish. Try to update that on a daily basis to keep that unique. You have A and B set to true. Now, lot mode, we have percent or fixed. I used fixed. You're more than welcome to try the percent mode and see how that works. Fixed, this is where we adjust enter your first entry position, and this is usable for if you're using the percent, then it will take into account the percent lot. As we're using fixed, it's taking the fixed lot for the starting balance. Take profit in pips, we set to 100. Now, if you're using MyForex funds, you can reduce this and maybe say to 95 due to the swaps or spreads and the price feed. As it's FTMO, we can keep this to 100. Stop losses at 1,000. Then you have different martingale gridding entry systems. So keep to martingale. You can try out the others. Make sure you demo and you have consistent 3 months results. Step size in pips. You want to keep this to 100. Grid in increments. So this is a multiplying tool. So if I come, let me find the calculator. Sorry. Just going to open up the calculator here. So just to give you an idea, we're running the first lot at 0.02. So 0.02 times the multiplier 1.357, which 1.357. The next open position is going to be 0.02. And then again, times 1.357, and that gives you 0.3 and so on. So every time, every 100 pips, it's going to open a multiplier of 1.357 based on your first entry position. Your step lot, I haven't changed. I've always kept at 4. You're more than welcome to see what that's all about. Maximum lot, this is the max open position. So if the EA comes to a maximum lot of 1 and it's made its accumulative process up to 1 by timesing the multiplier, it's only going to open up a maximum of 1 lot. But having said that, every 100 pips, it will continue to open additional 1 lots. So that's important to know. It's not going to just take a 1 lot. It's going to open them continuously every 100 pips based on here. Now in after level, I leave this. I don't know what it is. Enable grid dual. So what this is going to do is open buys and sells at the same time. So if you have this on true, I would advise reducing your start lot to half because you're going to be in buys and sells at the same time. If you're setting this to false, you keep it to your desired first entry position. Filter one order candle. Now I have actually tried this and it's quite handy. So I've set this to true and I've used the 5 minutes before. It will only open a position on the 5-minute close candle if it's at 100 pips or above. So once 100 pips is reached and the 5-minute close has occurred, it will then open the next position. I don't use that, so I just set that to false. Okay, so let's look at minimal profit grid. Personally, if I was you, I will keep this off just for now until I fully understand this setting. Config, we have hedge configuration, just keep that off. I have been testing the daily target and it's not working, so there is another tool that I use for daily targets and stop losses. So just keep that to 0. Moving averages, keep that as is. Also, high-low, keep that as is. Trailing stop, I would also advise keeping that as the default. Break even, great tool. I've seen it in action. Keep that to true, 150, 30. Take equity stop. Keep that to false. Take equity stop. It's the amount of floating dollar drawdown. So if this is hit, the orders are closed. So if you switch that to true, close all orders once the floating hits this amount. So as soon as you hit, for example, $1,000 in floating drawdown, it's going to close. And that's the feature. So here, if you want to use that, you can do that. I set that to false. I don't use that. Max spread, I set to 12. I don't want to be in the business of when it's 20, 22 pips or above, too much volatility. You get crazy slippage, and that's not the business I want to be in. So I set that to 12. You can keep that as you wish. The filter caution of equity. So this will stop opening additional orders once the drawdown set is hit. So if you have this to true, set to true, once 20% of your equity has been reached, it's going to stop using and adding additional entries, but it will keep those positions open. So if you find that it's not opening more positions, you can set this to false, and that's going to help maintain those orders being open. So let's say, for example, we've hit our maximum max multiplier, which is 1 standard lot, and we've got this to true, and we set this to, I don't know, 20%. It's going to keep opening. It's going to keep opening those positions. Sorry, it's going to stop opening additional positions once 20% drawdown has been reached. You can always switch this to false, and it will continue to open the multiplier, the maximum multiplier, because we have not set an equity caution for the percentage. I keep this to false. Filter equity stop. This for me is what I do like to use. And you can set this to true. Total percent risk to equity stop. So basically, if you set this to 2%, as soon as it hits 2%, you can set it to send you an alert, and you can review the chart, or you can close all the orders once that 2% has reached. You can set this, for example, at 2.5% and switch this to false. It's going to send you an alert, and then you can come to the trading screen and decide whether you want to close or not. Personally, either 2-3%, and I just close and done for the day. So this is a very useful feature. The news filter, again, this will allow, you can also just keep this off, to be honest. And you should be manually checking the news daily. And again, the filter date and time that you can use also. This is also based on the broker price feed. So at the bottom, you will need to follow the price at bottom or in your market watch for the correct price that you can enter, correct time that you can enter on here. So that's all of the most of the settings, except for a couple there that I'm not really 100% sure, and I don't want to go into too much detail. In the live sessions, I will go over more specific on when and what settings to use on what account balances. So those live sessions are going to be phenomenal for that kind of content and information, especially if you have a specific set of balance, and we can just discuss those on live sessions. So I hope that's been useful. Also, one more thing, I'm not sure if I've covered, ensure you've got long and short in the comment tab, and that's going to help you make sure that it's done correctly. All right, thanks very much.